Big opportunity. Game is not about so if you are place software, very low plus right in the depths. I found out that only carbon dioxide means it's a gas. They will be find out the plus. And you're getting the brown color, it always makes writing an equation of the other change the color, change the temperature. Okay, power sulfate in a meeting with the power sulfate being a meeting, power of the changing the temperature, the next step goes okay. Change the temperature. So same way, calcium, okay. This will be as one of in a meeting, it is bringing to the reweight water, same reaction and right same colors. The color is a blue light top of the data. See, here, what is the this? So, oxygen score, the color of the score, see, plus what that. So, you put up, right, and it is one of us.
Okay. Oh. Why Vijayalakshmi yesterday action? Yours? நீங்களும் நேற்று absent. But you attended online? பாத்தீங்களா அது? So all of you get full marks, ah? Why? How many? 3, ah? What about you, madam? For what you are shaking your head? Not full marks. Then how much you will get? Do not know. The book வச்சிருக்கீங்களா learning material? The last part complete பண்ணாது. Physics ஆ? நீ வச்சிருக்கியா? நீ வச்சிருக்கியா? சரி பரவாயில்ல புக்கு கூட சயின்ஸ் புக் கெமிஸ்ட்ரி. So we have to take refining. Have we completed? The last class what we completed? Calcination, roasting. Next point also we completed, I think. I think we have to go for the electrolysis, right, ma? We did. Oh, so moderately reactive only roasting and calcination, right? Low active series, we are just doing by heating. By heating, we are purifying that into metal oxides. And the middle activity series, we are converting, that means roasting and calcination, we have to do. For the highly reactive metal, we have to do the electrolytic refining. So that we completed. That we completed. Cathode, anode, where cathode takes place, where use Al at cathode. Anode, Cl minus, it will give chlorine plus 2 electron, right? Correct. So now we have to go for the corrosion, I think. Then we completed the portion. We discuss about, but we how to prevent that also we discuss, no? So okay, again we will see that corrosion itself. So the silver article become black after some time when exposed to air. So this is generally we are wearing the silver utensils, right? So it was somewhat black. Somebody it changed into dark, எப்படி சொல்றது, like grease appear ஆன மாதிரி. சிலவங்களுக்கு nothing will happen. It depends on the heat also. Okay, so when it oxidizes in the air, it changes to black. When you are heating, that black will go away. That means the sulfide which is present in the air, which is reacted with our silver, it will become a black. And then the oxygen which is present in the atmosphere, it reacts with your react with the silver, then it also give the black color. Okay, generally the black color of silver due to formation of oxide layer and the formation of sulfide layer, silver sulfide, silver oxide. So when we are heating, it will go. So when the purest form of metal, that will be changed by the atmospheric influence of oxygen, carbonate or acid, some other things, to change that property or to change the surface is known as, we are telling that corrosion. So when it corroded, the atmosphere is the surface of the metal is not the purest. So whatever things you are expecting, it won't give that. So to prevent the corrosion, we can make it as a alloy. For example, stainless steel. It is also having iron content, but along with iron content, it has some chromium. That's why the corrosion is prevented. So you could not see that corroded one. Some cases it may corrode 1 or 2 point will be there, but actually seeing it will not corrode. That is the main advantage of the stainless steel. Likewise, brass, everything is alive. That's why corrosion is not happening. So if you are taking brass, if you are keeping sometimes, it will become a green color. Have you seen brass material? அப்படி இல்லைன்னா காப்பர் மெட்டீரியல் இருக்குன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. காப்பர் மெட்டீரியல் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா ஒரு மாதிரி பிளாக்கா மாறும். அப்படி இல்லைன்னா ஒரு மாதிரி கிரீன் கலர்ல ஒரு கோடு விழுந்த மாதிரி வரும். நம்ம வாஷ் பண்ணாம ப்ராப்பரா வாஷ் பண்ணாம if you are keeping in our home, it become a green color. So some will become a black color. இது என்ன வரும்னா சேம் வே அட்மாஸ்பியர்ல இருக்க carbonate react with the metal, it will give the copper carbonate. Okay, that copper carbonate will be green in color. So that's why we are getting the green color. So these are the factors which make it is a iron. So they given that some activity. Charging. Yes. Charging. So book material book. So he has taken the iron nail and then he put it in water, first tube, then he fill it up with the air, and the second one, the layer of oil. So first they boil the distilled water, then they put the iron nail, and then above it they put the oils. And the third one, anhydrous calcium chloride, and then dry air. So what will happen? The first one, second one, third one. You look at the figure and tell me what you can see.
The upper one, which is not there in all these colors. Because they hold back.
Okay. In the B, so in the figure also they have shown some rusty iron nails, brown color, right? So the first one they put it into the water, then you fill with the oxygen. Okay, so the air which react with the iron nail, it turns brown color. So the rusting is take place. When it put into the second one, a layer of oil. Okay, when the boiled water, when you are boiling the water, the present gas will escape. When you are increasing, the gas will escape. When the gas escape, mean it leaves some space, and then they put the oil. So that interface between your gas and liquid. Appo iron with the oxygen prevent contact வந்து it reduce பண்ணுது. That's why the rusting is not taking place. And then the third one, you put anhydrous calcium chloride. Anhydrous calcium chloride is here desiccant. Desiccant means it can remove the moisture. it can remove the moisture from air or any other things. Okay, generally if you are having heated material like silica gel, இப்போ நியூவா பேக்கிங் எல்லாம் வருதுல குட்டி குட்டியா, அந்த மாதிரி வந்து கால்சியம் குளோரைட் டெசிகண்ட் இருக்கக்கூடிய மாய்ஸ்சர்ஸ் எல்லாம் அப்சர்வ் பண்ணும். when it take the moisture means how the corrosion will takes place. So corrosion do not takes place. So that C also no rust is taking place. Okay, so corrosion of metal is nothing but surface of many metal that is easily attacked when exposed to atmosphere. Okay, they react with air or water present in the environment to form undesirable compound. For example, iron, it form iron oxide, Fe2O3, like that it will form. So this undesired compound generally oxides, or they are called as carbonates, oxide, carbonate, sulfides, they will form. Okay, so the corrosion process is known as corrosion. Okay, so the corrosion of ions, that what we discussed. Okay, so in the test tube A, inside containing iron nail, we put unboiled water. So 2/3 of nail is immersed in water and the rest is above the water, exposed to air dumped. Okay, so after 1 week we can observe the nail all 3 test tubes. So in the test tube A, the iron rusting is taking place. In the test tube B, we have put it in the boiled water. Okay, so it does not contain any dissolved oxygen or air, and the oil layer put it over the boiling water in the test tube to prevent the outside air to the nail. So it also prevent the corrosion. And the third one, the containing iron nail, we put some anhydrous chloride to absorb the moisture or water molecule. Okay, so from the dump air present in the test tube, so to make it dry, and the full container வந்து ட்ரையா வச்சுக்குது. அப்படி இருக்கும்போது iron will not react, so rusting will be takes place. இது நம்ம வீட்லயே பண்ணக்கூடிய டெஸ்ட். நம்ம வீட்லயே ஆனா என்ன பண்ணணும்னா பாயில் வாட்டர் நல்லா ஹீட் பண்ணணும். வாட்டரை ஹீட் பண்ணிட்டு இதை போட்டுட்டு நீங்க மேல வந்து எனி ஆயில்ஸ், coconut oil or whatever oil we are using, if you are putting, the iron will be purest form. அப்படி இல்லாம இருந்ததுன்னு சொன்னீங்கன்னா இந்த ரஸ்டிங் நடக்கும். இது நம்ம வீட்ல பண்ணிப்போம். ஓகேவா? And then prevention of corrosion. So prevention of rusting. Okay, so the corrosion of metal can be prevented by painting. Simplest way to avoid the corrosion is to make it painting, and then varnish, or if you are putting grease or oil, everything will will preserve from the oxygen. Outer side atmosphere like oxygen and the preserve பண்ணுச்சுனா it will not be corrode. And then iron is protected from the rusting by coating with a thin layer of another metal which is more reactive than iron. So that is process is known as alloying. Okay, so the prevention of the loss of electron from iron, because the active metal loses electron in the process of converting iron with zinc, is known as galvanization. Okay, so iron also coated with other metals such as tin is known as tin metal. Tin coating na iron with the tin, galvanization na iron with the zinc. Okay, so it is a galvanization. And then alloying, so some of the metal alloyed with other metal become more resistant to corrosion. Okay, for example, iron is alloyed with chromium and nickel, it's formed the stainless steel, whatever we are using, it's normal iron. Stainless steel means in home we are using that steps எல்லாம் வச்சுக்கிறோம் இல்லையா, அதெல்லாமே stainless steel, but it is a mixture of nickel, chromium and iron. Okay, for that we have to find out what is the exact position the corrosion will not take place. That position, that composition only they will mix. Alloyingradhu வந்து சிம்பிளா a plus b plus c, no. So a is how much percent, b is how much percent, c is how much percent, we have to decide and then we make it as alloy. In the early days, the cycle wheels become normal iron, it get rusted. Nowadays it is changed, altered with the stainless steel. இப்போ நிறைய ஸ்டெயின்லெஸ் ஸ்டீல் அலாயிங் நிறைய வந்துருச்சு. ஸோ அது வந்து கரோஷனே நடக்காது. ஓகே. And then corrosion of aluminum. So what are the things happen? See, pure gold is 24 karat. Okay, it's a soft gold. It's that you should know. So 22 karat gold only we are using to make it a gold jewels. Okay, so the remaining two part become alloy with either silver or with the copper. Okay, so they are doing alloy examples. And then iron pillars in the New Delhi, Kutupinar, 1600 years ago. So it's a best example for the alloying. Okay, the rusting also will take place in that. So the day hot so corrosion of aluminum we will see. Aluminum, we are using aluminum utensil in our homes, right? So when you are keeping long days, ஒரு மாதிரி அந்த மேல வந்துட்டு பாத்தீங்கன்னா layers become a blockish மாறின மாதிரி இருக்கும். When the new aluminum coated na, it will be lustrous. அப்படியே பளபளப்புன்னு இருக்கும். But it days goes, that nature will get decreases. So that is aluminum metal loss the shyness very soon. Okay, after the use. கரெக்டா நம்ம வாங்கும் போது இருக்கிற இது வந்துட்டு ஒரு 1 week கழிக்கும் போதே பாத்தீங்கன்னா மேல வந்து சேஞ்ச் ஆயிரும். ஸோ என்ன ஆகும்னா அலுமினியம் will form aluminum oxide. We know that when the aluminum reacted with oxygen, it will form Al2O3. Al2. Yeah, wait a minute. Al2O3, right? So how many aluminum we have to take? 4. 4 means no. 3. So wait a minute. 2 Al2O3, 2 3s are 6. 3 O2, correct? So it will form that when the aluminum using the atmosphere oxide itself, it will form aluminum oxide, not the full. So first one part அப்படியே slowly it start forming oxide, that is aluminum oxides. It's aluminum corrosion. Corrosion of coppers. I told you, green color. When the atmospheric oxygen and carbonate, it change copper carbonate and copper hydroxides. Okay, so when the copper object remain in the air, so with a considerable time, 1 month or 1 week, okay, you should not touch that or you should not wash that utensil. So when you are keeping in the atmosphere, very slowly react with the carbon dioxide and water of the air to form green coating of basic copper carbonate. That means copper carbonate and copper hydroxide. So this will become green color. This will become gray or dull white. since copper metal is low reactive series, the corrosion of copper metal is very, very, very slow. Okay. And then corrosion of silver. So silver is highly unreactive because we are telling it is a noble metal, but it has some affinity with oxygen and sulfur. Okay. So usually contain a little of sulfur compound such as hydrogen sulfide, which reacts slowly with the silver to form block coating silver sulfide, Ag2S. So whatever H2S available in the air, it converted into Ag2S. So the silver ornament gradually turned black due to the formation of silver sulfide layer on the surface. The silver to be said to be tarnished. So again, if you are heating, it will go away. The sulfur will escape from that. But these are the things of corrosion. Okay, and then alloys. So alloy is a homogeneous mixture of two metals. Homogeneous, it should be solid, liquid. Okay, and then solid liquid or gaseous liquid. It should be one phase, homogeneous. So you should not identify some liquid is present in solid. So some solid is present in the liquid. If you can able to see two different layers on it's a heterogeneous. Adhe salt eduthu when put it in the water, it is a homogeneous. You could not identify which is salt, which is liquid, right? So ரெண்டு salt mix பண்றோம்னா ஒன்னு வந்து பெருசா இருக்கும், ஒன்னு சின்னதா அப்படிலாம் இருக்கும். It should be homogeneous. When you are mixing, you could not find out. Stainless steel இருக்கு, அதுல காப்பர் எது, சாரி நிக்கல் எது, குரோமியம் எது, அயன் எது கண்டுபிடிக்க முடியுமா? முடியாது இல்லையா? அந்த மாதிரி ஹோமோஜினியஸா இருக்கக்கூடிய இதுக்கு பேர் தான் அலாய். ஓகே. So iron is the most widely used metal, but it never used in the pure form because iron is a very soft and easily corroded. Okay. So but it mixed with some amount of carbon, it become hard and strong. So the new form of iron is called as steel. அதுதான் வந்து நம்ம பில்டிங் கட்டுறதுக்கு எல்லாத்துக்குமே யூஸ் ஆகுது. So how to alloying to increase the resistance to corrosion, to modify the chemical reactivity, to increase the strength and tensile strength, to produce good casting and lower the melting point, everything because of the alloying. So some important alloying பாத்தீங்கன்னா steel பொறுத்த வரைக்கும் iron. So the iron percentage will be 0 to 1.5% contained. The iron which is contained plus carbon, it will become 0.012 to 0.15% of iron carbon. That is steel. Okay, they are hard, tough and strong. Okay, so it will be useful in the construction of building, vehicles, ships, whatever the things we want to make it hard, we can use the steel. And then so another steel, alloy steels. So alloy of steels, by adding other elements such as chromium, vanadium, titanium, molybdenum, manganese, copper, nickel are called alloy steel. Okay, and then alloy of aluminium, dura-aluminum. If a flight that part is dura-aluminum. Okay, so the dura-aluminum which is contained aluminum, percentage of composition of aluminum is 95%, copper 4%, magnesium 0.5%, manganese 0.5%. They are very stronger than pure aluminum. So dura-aluminum is light but very strong. Okay, to make the bodies of aircraft, helicopter, jet, kitchenwares like pressure cookers, adellame dura-aluminum. It's a type of aluminum, but that thickness and then useful pathina adha vida idukku more irukum. Adutha magnesium with aluminum, that is also alloy of aluminum. Adutha alloy of copper, we know that brass, bronze, German silver and alloying gold. Okay, so that's all about our lesson in this lesson. So shall we do that problem on that? Pure gold is equal to 24 carat, 100 carat, 22 carat, 1000 carat, which is and food can are coated with the tin, not with zinc, because zinc is costlier than tin. Zinc has higher melting point than tin. Zinc is more reactive than tin. Zinc is less reactive than tin. Why they are using tin, not zinc? Very good. Zinc is more reactive than tin. That is the reason. And then chemical rest is here. Hydrated ferrous oxide, hydrated ferric oxide, only ferric oxide, none of this. Fe plus O2 gives Fe2O3. It's a ferric oxide. Okay. So that will be only ferric oxide. Okay. And then which of the following conditions are necessary for the rusting of iron? Presence of water only, presence of air only, presence of water and air, none of this. Good. Which of the following method is suitable for preventing iron vessel from rusting? Applying grease, applying paint, applying coating of zinc, all of the above. Very good. All of the above. And silver metal become black on exposed to air. It's a coating of silver chloride, silver oxide, silver sulfate, silver hydroxide. Silver chloride, silver oxide, silver sulfate, silver hydroxide. Silver sulfate. Good. An alloy is a homogeneous mixture of metal only, non-metal only, metal and non-metal only, metal or metal and non-metal, none of this. Alloy, it can be anything. So metal and non-metals. German silver is an alloy of copper nickel, copper tin silver, copper zinc nickel, copper nickel iron manganese, copper zinc nickel, other German silver. Okay. An alloy which does not contain copper is magnesium, bronze, brass, German silver. Bronze copper இருக்கு, brassல copper இருக்கு, German silverல copper இருக்கு. Magnesium தான் இல்ல. Not magnesium, magnesium. Magnesium. Okay. And which of the following is not alloy of aluminum? Duraluminum, magnesium, alinco, all are alloy of aluminum. All are alloy of aluminum only. Okay. So that's all about this unit. So I think we have completed the third unit. This week I will give test worksheet on the metals and non-metals. So generally what we learn from this unit, first we understand the metals and not metals. What are the characteristics of metals and non-metals we learn, and then how to find out whether it is a metal or non-metal, that also we learn. And then the metals, how it has occurred in the nature, either as a ore or minerals. So all minerals are ores, but are not all ores are minerals. So the ores which is we can separate profitably, economically viable method is known as ores. So from the ores, how to separate? First, what are the steps involved to purify the metals? We saw that because the purest form having many application, we need to purify that because it contaminated with many other things. First, we have to concentrate the ore. For the concentration of ores, magnetic separation, hydrolytic method, fourth flotation, gravitational separation, everything we applied, and we are concentrating the ore. That concentrated ore you have to convert into oxide by simple heating or heating with calcination or roasting. And then some of the things you have to do with the what is the method called? Electrolysis. Okay, and then you have to refine that metal oxide into purest metal by reduce with aluminum or by reduce with the carbon or reduce with the carbon monoxide. So these are the process by which we can purify our metals. And then if the metal is there means it also undergo corrosions. What is the corrosion? What are the process involved in the corrosion? How to avoid that corrosion we have seen. So in that corrosion, we see that galvanization and alloying. Alloying means what is alloy? What are the types of alloy available? That we learned from this unit. This is the consolidation of your third unit. Your last unit of this chemistry is carbon and its compound. I am giving a slight idea about it. Okay, today I will start about that. Okay. So in the periodic table, what is the atomic number of carbon? What is the atomic number of carbon? So, number one, first element in the periodic table, hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When you are writing electronic configuration, it becomes 1s2, 2s2, 2p2. Okay, so we know that when the electron present in so the nucleus which is having proton and neutrons inside the nucleus, the electrons are around that nucleus. So the circular path is called orbit. In that orbit, you have the orbital. In that orbital only you have the electrons. This is what we know about the structure of atom. Am I right? In the structure of atom, we know only about this. So because J.J. Thomson model explained that, and it has the drawback, and you came back to the Rutherford model. Rutherford model given a beautiful idea, but it doesn't tell that how the circular path is there. And then Bohr explained about that. Then we taken a model of Bohr's model. We are doing that. In that, the electron which is present in the last shell. This is the nearest shell. This is the last cell. The last cell is known as valence shell. In that electron present in that last shell is known as valence electron. So when you are writing, 1 means first shell, 2 means second shell. So in that second shell, you have totally 4 electrons. So total number of valence electron present in the carbon is 4. Total number of valence electron present in the carbon is 4. So the valency of carbon is always 4. Valency of carbon is always 4. If you are in the sleeping mode or drowsing mode, whatever it may be, if the person asks me what is the valency of carbon, it is 4. With the sleep also, deep sleep also, you have to tell it is a 4. Because the valence shell, you have only 4 valence electrons. Okay. Now, why we are studying carbon and its compound separately? Why we are not studying hydrogen, helium, lithium, that and all? Leaving by we are taken a special compound of carbon and all. So, being the size, it's a smaller size. When you are comparing this, the electronegativity means acceptance of electron. When compared to this, it has more capacity to accept the electron. Okay, so the electronegativity comparatively, it's more for the carbon when compared to others. The carbon with the hydrogen, it will form one set of compound. It is known as hydrocarbon. Carbon plus hydrogen. We are using coal tars, right? Coal tars, and we road what do we use pandome? Tar. That is carbon. Our body is made up of carbon. So many things which is made up of carbon, plant, animals. So our body 70% carbon content there. Okay, that's why we are studying about this carbon. And also many compound, many naturally available, synthetically available. So it has the special property is catenation. It has a special property that is catenation. Catenation, it forms like chains. the chain formation வந்து இருக்கிற எல்லா எலிமெண்ட்டை விட கார்பனுக்கு தான் ரொம்ப ஜாஸ்தி. கார்பனுக்கு அப்புறம் சிலிக்கானுக்கு கொஞ்சம் இருக்கு, பாஸ்பரஸ் கொஞ்சம் இருக்கு, நைட்ரஜன் கொஞ்சம் இருக்கு. அது எல்லாமே somehow. But the carbon, if you want to connect 150 carbon, it will connect 150 carbon. You can connect it. You can synthesize and it go like the chains. Octane, nonane, decane. It will go because smaller size, d orbital is absent. So it has the property to form a bond with other one. So bonding, 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 bonding. Carbon with carbon, 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 carbon. Will goes. Okay. These make the organic compounds. Is it clear? Is it clear? And then in the organic compound, I am saying the carbon with the hydrogen is hydrocarbon. Carbon with oxygen, organo-oxygen compounds. Carbon with the nitrogen, organo-nitrogen compounds. Whatever food we are taken, it's a carbohydrates. Hydrates of carbon. Carbon plus H2O. X time carbon, Y time water. CH, H2O, Y times. Simplest definition. It's not true, actually, but the simplest definition they are given for the carbohydrate, the food. Carbon is X times, water is Y times. This is known as carbohydrates. It's a compound of carbon. So some group which is very reactive, that group is made with the carbon only. They are reactive group, that is called as functional group. So organic compound, we cannot identify with the carbon. We can identify with the functional group. So what is functional group? The group which is responsible for the future reactions or further reaction. You want to convert one compound into another compound, that group only alone you can make it change. The reactive site in the molecule is known as functional group. So we are categorizing the compound into alcohol, ether, aldehyde, ketone, ester, carboxylic acid, nitro compounds, amines, X, Y, Z. If you want to see that organic compound's name, you take one tablet and see the ingredient. They will give the names. For the paracetamol, para-hydroxy acetamide. Dolo 655 இருக்குல்ல, Dolo 655ங்கிறதுனா it's a Dolo 655. Okay, aspirin we are taken, no? Is aspirin. Winter oil they are applied, no? இது பேராசிட்டமால், அப்படி இல்லைன்னா டோலோ 655, குரோசின். அதுல ஒரு பார்ட் என்ன இருக்குன்னா இதா இருக்கும். ஆஸ்பிரின், அசிடைல் சாலிசிலிக் ஆசிட், தென் மெத்தில் சாலிசிலேட். இதுதான் அந்த தைலத்துல தடவை பத்தியா ஒரு பார்ட் வந்து இதுதான். ஸோ இது எல்லாத்துலயும் என்ன இருக்கு பாருங்க, மெயின் கார்பன், ஹைட்ரஜன், ஆக்சிஜன். பட் த மெயின் ஃபார்ம் எது இருக்கு, அதிகமா எது இருக்கு, விச் இஸ் கார்பன். ரைட்? ஸோ திஸ் இஸ் நோன் அஸ் கார்பன் அண்ட் இட்ஸ் காம்பவுண்ட். ஓகே. So to make it clear that I'm giving a simplest idea, when the carbon and hydrogen, it will form hydrocarbons. Hydrocarbons also we can classify alkane, alkene, alkynes and all. Okay, is it clear why we are studying? Are able to understand? So last year you have studied about homologous series, right? Homologous series. No, carbon and its compound you are not yet learnt so far. So this is a new one for you. But this time is there, no? Not deleted portion, right? Sure.
Periodic plus.
That only deleted. So you have carbon and its compound, right? Okay. So we will discuss in the next week. Now you can get your doubt. Amphoteric salt or they behave one time as acid, another time as a base. When the acid comes, it reacts with salt, it will behave as a base. For example, Al2O3 is there. Al2O3 is there. Al2O3 is an amphoteric oxide because this oxide have acidic property as well as basic property. When it behaves as a base, when it reacts with acid, it behaves as a base. When it reacts with base, when it reacts with the acid. So when it reacts as acid, when it reacts with the base. For example, Al2O3 plus NaOH. So it will form sodium aluminate. So Al2O3 plus HCl. So எத்தனை வேணும் 2Al3 6 அப்போ then it will plus 3H2. This time aluminum oxide react with the hydrochloric acid, it will form aluminum trichloride plus water. So aluminum trichloride forming, no, so this is acid, so it behaves as a base, that's why it reacting. So actually we are telling it is a oxides. Okay, this oxide now it behaves as a base. So when the sodium aluminate is there, mean Na2Al Na3Al2 Na sodium aluminate. NaAlO2 plus water. NaAlO2 plus water. So sodium aluminate. So Al2O3 plus 2NaOH. 2NaAl2O2 plus H2. Yes, madam. What? Sorry. Those which belongs to metalloids. It's like a metal, but it behave as non-metal also. That will give the what is the amphoteric oxide. Generally, metal oxide, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, beryllium, magnesium, it will give only basic oxides. It never ever give the acidic oxides. Okay, and also it will not be a amphoteric. Same way, when coming to the periodic table in that side, that purest non-metal always give the acidic oxide. For example, NO2, nitrogen, phosphorus. So that oxide will become a acidic nature. but there are oxide belongs to boron family and carbon family. Some extent it behaves as a amphoteric oxide. Okay, very less. Then any doubts? You can ask your doubt, ma. Venkatanathana. Am I right?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Do you have any doubt?
No, sir.
New one.
So washing soda is basic.
Yes, definitely. Yesterday only we discussed, no? It's a basic salt only. Na2CO3. Because when you are hydrolyzing the salt, please, if you want to know about the salt, just you take the salt. Washing soda means Na2CO3. If you are dissolved in water, hydrolyzed water in heating, it will give sodium hydroxide and carbonic acid. Sodium hydroxide is strong base. Carbonic acid is a weak acid. So the property will become, that's all. Yes, when you are hydrolyzing, you will get NaOH and HCl. Both are strong. When both are strong or both are weak, the salt become neutral. Suppose any one will be dominant. Either acidic acid is strong means acidic salt. Base is strong means basic salt. Okay. Next. Yes, you can ask your doubts. So give that paper, ma. Just a minute. So I will ask one question. You two has to answer. Okay. Not this one. You ask doubt, no? This question.
Ask if this thing.
ಇಲ್ಲ ನೀವು ಪೇಂಟ್ ಡೌಟ್ ಇದೆ. A white salt on heating decompose to give brown fumes and a residue is left behind. Name the white salt. Write the balanced equation for the decomposition reaction. That is the question asked. You need to answer. Again, I am repeating. A white salt on heating decompose to give brown fumes and residue is left behind. Name the white salt. Write the balanced equation for the decomposition reaction. Huh? The sulfate will give brown salt, brown fumes. Hmm? So please remember, when it's brown fumes, it becomes nitrate. Okay. So which nitrate salt is white in color? That we should know. The D block element salt is there, no? That become colored. So nitrate means it may be lead nitrate or barium nitrate. So this is the salt is nothing but lead nitrate. Pb NO3 twice. On heating, it will give lead oxide plus NO2 plus O2. So you need to balance that. That will be readily answering. But you should know that brown gas is nothing but nitrate. So when you are getting a brown gas, it may be bromide. Bromine liberation also brown color. Okay, but it not generally taking place. This nitrate salt only give residue lead oxide white solid, and then nitrate as a brown fumes. Actually, the entire solid lead nitrate become white in color. Okay, you tell me H2S plus SO2 gives 2H2O plus 3 sulfur. So in our question paper is there, no? Bring that question paper in our school test also. We will discuss here. Then you will get a more idea about that. Okay. We will solve the papers and all. Previous year papers that will helpful to you. So after completing we are going to solving the previous year's papers. That will be useful. Tell me whether it is useful or not. Last time also we will discussing, then we come to know many things. Okay. Here, name the substance oxidized and oxidizing agent in this reaction. Which is the oxidizing agent? H2? H2O is here. I was asked what is oxidized? What is oxidizing agent? Hello. You have to, among these two only you need to answer. Don't go this side, product side. You have to take the reactant. SO2 is here. Okay. What is oxidized? Very good. So addition of oxygen on this, so oxidation. Removal of oxygen from this, it is a reduction. Number one. So the oxidizing agent undergo reduction. That's why it's oxidizing agent. It is a stress. Okay. A compound A dissolved in water gives compound B. A compound A dissolved in water gives compound B, which is used in whitewashing. B react with carbon dioxide to form white precipitate C. Carbon dioxide form H2O, it form B. It react with carbonate, it will form precipitate C. What is A, B, C? So A is it's a calcium. Calcium react with water, it will give calcium hydroxide. Tell me. Calcium oxide. Then it become calcium hydroxide. When it reacts with carbonate, very good. Oh, that's it. Okay. So you have to answer like this. Any doubts? You can ask. Another 5 minutes is there. You can ask your doubts. next lesson பார்க்கணும். CA?
How can you translate it? What?
CaO bleaching powder, calcium hypochlorite. Yes, both are same only. CaO, calcium hypochlorite or calcium oxychloride. You could see the board clearly, Venkatanathan.
Yes, sir.
Okay, Venkatanathan. Huh? Why it gives? So okay, we will meet in the next class. Okay.